So lately I've been noticing this cat. I take my lunch break every day and I go for a little walk, and I see this cat every day. This cat does not look good. It looks kind of like a sack of rags had a baby with a sack of bones and made this cat. And it's always by this apartment building. And every day I kind of walk past and I'm like, there's that cat again. Still looking bad, that cat. And then I walk on and I have my lunch and I return to work. But last week, I walked past that cat and I stopped. It was a cold day. The cat was looking worse than usual. And I was like, I walk past this cat every day and I do nothing about it. This cat needs my help. Now, I should say here, I have helped animals in the past, and it hasn't always gone well. There was the time when I was 7 years old, I helped a little bird, little chap. I fed little chap a mixture of milk and bread, and little chap, in about 5 minutes after being rescued, choked to death. Poor little chap. And then later, when I was about 20, there was a crow baby. I was walking in my neighborhood and I saw this crow baby, obviously in need of help. And I thought, what has this crow baby just been left to die? I will take it in and I'll take care of it. I took the crow baby home. Meanwhile, I was being attacked by these evil crows that were swooping down upon me as I was trying to rescue this poor baby crow. I took it back home, and for about a week, I fed it a mixture of oatmeal, protein powder, and some worms I dug up. And I fed it this. I was careful to really dilute it because I had learned with little chap, you don't want it to be too thick for a baby bird. But I learned my lesson. About a week in, I decided to Google crow babies. Crow babies are to be left alone. If you see them on the ground, especially if you're being swooped down upon by large birds, they belong to those birds. Those birds are protecting the baby from you, the thief of this. And also they live to be 20 years old. So I took the crow back and I kind of stuffed it in a hedge nearby. Hopefully it found his family. And then there was the baby squirrel episode, which there's not time for me to tell you about that, but maybe later we'll get a drink and talk about it. Anyways, this was a cat, though. Clearly a domestic animal, different from wild animals, needs humans to survive. No collar visible. And I thought, I cannot let this cat die, but let me first be sure that it's a tame cat that's been abandoned. So I approached it, and it didn't move much because it was near dead. I touched its head, and the head kind of sunk in a little bit, like it was made of cold wax. And it lifted its head up to me. It gave me a look of dementia and desperation mixed. I'm going to try to give you that look right now. It was like that, but more cat-like. So, anyways, I start making phone calls. I call the humane shelter, I call animal control, I call Dove Lewis. I found this cat. This cat's obviously very close to death. What do I do? They're like, bring it in to us. But I don't have a car that day, so I'm about to go home, but then I think, I can't leave this cat. What if it starves overnight? It's obviously so close to death. So I went to the 7-Eleven and I bought a can of Friskies, canned cat food. And I brought it back to where this cat was still languishing under a bush. And as I opened the can of Friskies, the cat suddenly comes to life and it pounces upon the can of Friskies and it starts trying to eat it. And it's like scratching my hands up. It's like trying to eat it. It's like, finally I like kind of dump it out on the grass and it just like savagely devours the Friskies. I'm like, this is terrible. But tomorrow I'm going to make things right. So the next day, meanwhile, I go home and I talk to my roommate who very kindly agrees that we can take this cat into our home for a period of time in which we figure out if it can be rescued or if it has some kind of debilitating disease. So I create a room in my house. We're going to take this cat in now, not just rescue it, but also fatten it up and have it as our cat. I get the cat carrier, because I already have one cat, and I get a can of cat food to lure it into the cat carrier, and I head to work. At lunchtime, I go out to the place where the cat usually is laying half dead, and it's not there. And I'm like, oh no, it's my day of rescuing the cat. It's not there. But then I see, and this is kind of a big, scary apartment building, I see there's a door, a basement door open. And by the basement door, there is a sign that says, no trespassing. Violators will be shot in the face. Shot in the face! Like, this is Portland. We don't shoot people in the face. We're nice to them. We are like, hi, do you have a reason to be here? But no, whoever managed this apartment was not going to nicely check in with me if I went in there seeking the cat, which probably had snuck in and was now about to be abandoned. But I thought, I have to go in. The cat's probably in there. So I start snooping around in this basement. Well, I make my presence known. It was an interesting kind of snooping in which you make your presence known, where I'm like, hello, it's just me. I just have questions about a cat. Anyone here? Hoping that this person with said gun is not suddenly going to emerge. No one answers. I mean, there's people's stuff stored. It's a very big, dark basement, and there's a boiler room door open with loud noises. And I don't see the cat anywhere. I'm still announcing my presence when a man appears. Not a threatening-looking man, a smaller Hispanic man, friendly man. I'm like, hi, I know I'm not supposed to be here, but I'm just worried about the cat. You know that cat that looks really, really hungry? Have you seen it? And he's like, yes. That cat belongs to the gay couple that lives in the corner. And I was like, oh no. And I was like, well, why is it so hungry? Why is it so skinny? And he was like, it's a very old cat. Very old. This cat is very old. And everyone in the apartment building knows it. It comes and goes. We all love this cat. And I'm like, oh. And meanwhile, I'm holding this cat carrying case. Like, just wondering about the cat. It just happened to be, I just have this, like an accessory. I don't know. It's a new purse. It's a new purse. And I head out, and I think, how lucky I was. Because if I hadn't actually gone the route of the basement and found out this cat had a home, I totally would have stolen someone else's cat. Not just anyone else's cat, a gay couple. And gay couples are notorious for taking good care of their animals. This is probably a cat that was like on a special diet. It probably wasn't allowed to have canned Friskies, which I just gave it. It like might have had like celiac cat disease or something. And I like fed it this and like almost stole it away. But had I taken the cat away from its family, I never would have known. I would have lived my life as a hero, while actually I had left a path of destruction behind me and broken hearts. And who knows, maybe this couple wouldn't have recovered and I would have been stuck with the world's oldest cat ever that never would have fattened up and just would have continued to lay like a pile of rags on the ground. So it just makes me think a little bit that, you know, not just animals. I think I've helped a lot of people in my life. But maybe I haven't. Maybe all of those times I thought I helped someone, I actually was leaving a path of chaos and destruction behind me. So I just want to say, if you're one of those people that I've helped, I am truly sorry.